next contributor is Phil Cunnginham, who was born and reared in Freed's Terrace, Nealers Row, overlooking Derry's Bogside, before he moved here to the Cunningham estate in 1950. Shortly after retiring, Phil began writing what became a hugely popular column in the Derry News, that was Derry Down the Days. And since then, he's become the author of 4 memoirs, all published by Guildhall Press. These are Derry Down the Days in 2002, which was actually reprinted in 2010, Echoes of Derry in 2003, Reflections of Derry in 2004, and Derry Memories in 2007. Phil's debut collection of fictional short stories, supported by the Arts Council of Northern Ireland, is due for publication with Guildhall Press by the end of this year. And he's also a very talented painter, with at least one of his works on display downstairs in the foyer here. So, without any further ado, can I invite Mr. Phil Cunningham?
This is Derry Down the Days about Christmas. It was old stuff about Christmas anyway. But there's one wee story. My father at that time of the year would invite some of his friends into the house for a drink of stout and a drop of whisky. The same treat was given to the postman, the coal man, the milkman and the bread man, all of whom delivered their goods promptly the whole year round. As a result of this seasonal generosity, it wasn't unusual to see a horse plodding along, pulling the cart containing its over-inebriated sleeping driver home at a late hour before Christmas. The bottles of stout were bought in Molly Divon's public house in Walker Square, and when the corks were pulled, the drink was poured into white delf bowls. After a while, when the tops went off the stout, to make the head creamy again, a couple of stouts later, my father would heat the poker in the fire and plunge it into the stout to make the head come up again. So the men then would eventually begin to sing, and my father gave him a rendering of his favourite songs, just the song of Twilight, When the Lights Are Low, and I Love Old Ireland Still. His most favourite song was Often the Stilly Night, and everyone sat quietly as he gently sang. It was so peaceful listening to them singing as I lay coldly tucked up in my bed before I drifted off to sleep. So, if I have time for an hour, I'll give you an hour.
Very quickly.
A wee quickly one, right? No, that'll be too long, that one. I'll just read the wee poem at the back of the route about the whole lot of it. A twilight memory, broken slates and shattered stones, all scattered now where once stood homes, all gone neath shadows of the walls, now gone but what the mind recalls. The banking where met friend or foe, to play, to fight or to greet and know. All gone those happy carefree days of innocence and gentle ways, when just a little prayer or touch could ease the heart and mean so much. All gone those days and gone forever, but from my heart I shall lose them never. So,
You told me once, Phil, many years ago, that you wrote so that your family would have an understanding of the world that you grew up in. 2 questions to that. One, was your upbringing in Derry pretty typical of the time? And secondly, do your family appreciate the work that you've put in and the gift that you have bequeathed them?
well, you see, when I did grow up in Derry and then I wrote, everything I wrote, some people say it was lies, but I always say only half of them were lies. So anyway, it was all real. It was real out of my head. I wrote. I never researched or anything. It was just stuff that came out. Every time I was thinking, Dave said the voice in my head was telling me what to write every day, and I had to learn how to write the thing down properly. And it ended up it was kind of emotional. Sometimes I was writing a lot of the stuff that was emotional. There was one story about my friend getting drowned at Fawn at that time, and it was very hard to write. It started and it stopped and started to stop. Then I got it finished. And then my family did appreciate everything I wrote.
You were with a friend when he died, and it was you were all witnessed. It was a terrible tragedy. I remember that story very well because we get much comment about. We get more comment about your work, I think, than any other columnist or any other writer within the paper at the time. People really loved it and they identified it.
Yeah.
Yet, for me, it was the style. It was very conversational and very easily accessed. But you had to work very hard at making it that way. It wasn't. It didn't just come out like that.
I wanted to make it I wanted to make it as if it was a child who was still thinking about it, or talking about it, or seeing it happening. And I wrote about some experience that happening when I was young. I still have nightmares yet, certain about some ones too, because it was kind of a very emotional. But a lot of people then, after the first book came out, were saying, that could have been me writing that. And I said, I know everybody had the same experiences growing up, like sort of poverty and seeing discrimination, trying to get houses and no houses to go to. And we all the Derry people had the same, although some might have been better off or better educated. My education stopped when I was the same age as boy when I was 13, so because of illness.
I just wanted to ask you, what's next for you? I know you've got the book of short stories coming up.
Well, that's photography has taken up my whole life now, photography, and I put all of the photos on Facebook for anybody who wants to download them or take them or anything.
But the book of short stories done by Christmas, is that what we're telling? And what do you call that book? Or we've
it called Twilight Treasures at the minute.
Right.
And it's a book of, it'll be about, based around Derry. It's kind of fiction, it's would be fiction, but stories about Derry and Donegal. So the mixed kind of a thing. Yeah.
Supposed to be fiction, so we watch it for some real life characters.
There might be parts of experience, but it's kind of would be fiction, you know.
Right. Look forward to that very much. Thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.